Thank you for joining me, ESTRA, this June 15, 2013 for Talking About You with ESTRA on Block Talk Radio and ESTRA's TV, currently featured on YouTube under ESTRA's blog. This is part 2 of You and Fatherhood after a car accident. Now let's continue. And now for our personal injury in the news this week. These are my views on current events and have no association with the writers of the article. From time to time, I'll stop, take a moment, and comment on a section. Our personal injury in the news comes from BleacherReport.com, and it's about Chad Jones. He's a former New York Giant that goes from a near-death car crash to MLB draft pick. And it's by Josh Soch. And apologies, Josh, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. It's Schoch. And the article is about making a comeback after a disability, where you do not give up, but you keep going until you've gotten where you want to be. Chad Jones was in a car accident where he almost lost his leg. It was broken, and doctors thought they were going to have to amputate it. But they were able to save it. Chad never gave up on his dream to go professional, and his courage and determination is what is required by all of us in order to make our dreams come true. One has to be able to look through the bleak times in order to overcome them. Here are a few quotes from the article. Make sure to click on Talking About You with ESTRA's Facebook link or at ESTRA's blog tips on Twitter to read the full article. Quote, "To say that Cincinnati Reds draft pick Chad Jones has had an interesting past would be a gross understatement. Drafted in the 9th round of the 2013 MLB draft, Jones' future had never been clear, but for now it appears that he finally found his place in baseball. The former LSU, who was nearly killed in a car accident 3 years ago, was just drafted by the Reds in the 9th round. Isn't that amazing? That had to be an incredible experience for him to have to go through. I mean, and here's another part of the quote. As a member of the 2007 LSU football and 2009 LSU baseball team that both won national championship, he is one of just how many? One of two college athletes to win a title in both football and baseball. You go, Chad. I mean, to me, that's an incredible situation where what happens in 2010, Jones was in an early morning car accident. He crashed his Range Rover and needed to be cut out of the car. And unfortunately, he almost left something behind, which was his leg, end quote. So you know that he had to go through a lot of therapy and a lot of termination, a lot of setbacks, and he didn't let them stop him. He just kept his eye on the prize and decided he was going to make it. He was going to give it everything he got. And I'm sure at times he probably wondered whether that was possible. But he didn't stop. He decided to go on, and look at him now. He's made it through. So I'm just sharing this article because I want you to know that whatever you're going through, you too can end up on the other side. Will it be in the direction in the way in which you thought your path would go? Maybe, maybe not. I'm sure that Chad Jones didn't think his life was going to take a detour and have an accident, but it did, and he's back, and he never gave up. Sometimes we have to be open enough to be able to realize that how we get to our destinations may not necessarily be the way we want to get there, but we get there if we stay the course. I just thought that would be a great article to talk about for you to be able to see that sometimes the journeys are long, but if it's what you want and where you want to go and what you want to be, then that's what you got to do. And now for my commentary on you and fatherhood. Think fathers are ignored in our society today? You might be surprised just to find out how much information there is out there on fatherhood. In fact, fathers may enjoy knowing they are thought about a great deal. In order to help fathers, though, with disabilities, we need to track this information too. Therefore, I hope our government will decide to start to follow, because we need to know more about the plights that they face and how we can be a part to change those and how we can bring help in. Just as we seem to track a bit of information on single moms. No one in our society should be forgotten. In order to bring understanding to our citizens, we must know and understand the plight of all people. In this way, we can grow together as a community and as a country. Information is power. Ask any corporation worth its weight in salt. The data pertaining to individuals, however, is a valuable commodity, and how information is typically tracked. Fathers have been caring and supportive for generations. Sometimes a few bad apples get more attention than the ones who stay and protect and also receive love from their families. So today I'd like to say thank you, fathers, for all you do. You are remembered and your efforts are noticed. I hope that you will have a great day tomorrow for Father's Day. And if your father has passed away, remember that we always carry a part of them inside of us. Happy Father's Day. Again, comments on the articles reviewed today are my opinions and have no association with the writers. I will be stopping and making comments, however, through different articles. The first one we're going to look at today comes to us from fatherhoodabout.com, and it's important statistics about fathers in America from the U.S. Dads Market, which is great. And it's by Wayne Parker. Okay, and I'm just going to go through and pull out some of the quotes and information in here. Silver Stork Research has provided a recent report entitled U.S. Dads Market, a unique profile of fathers, their attitudes, values, and behavior as consumers. This research report looks at trends in the changing roles and attitudes about fathers and how businesses should market to fathers and their families. Some of the fascinating statistics cited in the report show how fathers are becoming more and more involved in family life. And that's end quote. It's just amazing to me how, this is my opinion here, how we're evolving and looking at things and allowing people to be more of what or whom they are versus whom we want them to be, and how we're breaking a lot of stereotypical perceptions of people and allowing them just to grow into who they choose to be and respecting them for that. So kudos to us for continuing to move forward and not to believe in the stereotypes or be herded in a way of perceiving life. Okay. So here's some of the information from the research. It says, majority of fathers see themselves as hands-on. 70% of the estimated 64 million fathers in the United States are hands-on and want to keep their families first on their list of priorities. Do you hear that, corporate America? Fathers love their families too, and they need time to be with them. So working 80 hours a week does not help. Okay, the next one is, dads believe that they are equal parenting partners. Nearly 3/4 of married dads consider themselves equal parenting partners with their wives, while 69% feel that dads are changing to meet the needs of a new world. Kudos, dads. You realize things are changing, and that's a good thing, because we don't hear about dads hearing when moms are saying, hey, we need help. I can't do all of this. Trying to be mom and full-time housewife just, doesn't work when you're working those same probably 80 hours a week as the dad. So, it's really important that we give families time to grow and nurture their families, and maybe our divorce rates would go down. Next one, 8 out of 10 new dads participate in baby registries. 81% of the first-time dads actively participated in the baby gift registry process, something which was initially considered to be a mom thing. Wow, we're moving on. We're getting away from stereotypes of what's a mom and what's a dad. And that's great to know, because it's not about mom and dad. It's about family and that union being able to get its needs met. The next one. Majority of men plan to marry and have children. More than 50% of men between the ages of 15 and 44 are planning to have children in the future. Okay, ladies, that means that 50% of the men you date are not serious, so be careful. If you're not serious, that works out okay. No serious, but you need to find out, hey, what kind of dude am I dealing with? Am I dealing with just the playa, or am I playing with someone who wants the family? It's because it makes a big difference on your life, and heartbreak and the things that can happen in relationships can change your attitude toward the opposite sex. So therefore, be cautious before you give out all your cookies or your valuable heart. The next one, men see a range of new attitudes and perspectives on family life. The report focuses on the wave of males from the post-boomer generation who are now becoming fathers and have a wide range of new influences and perspectives on parenthood. Described as the dad factor, the report details what it calls an evolution of modern fathers today as impacted by their perceptions on gender roles, their own parents, and how motherhood has also changed. Yay! I'm very excited about that. That means that the men of today's generation are looking and deciding on how they're going to view their role as fathers and what's required today as a family network. So that's very awesome. The next actual statistics we're going to look for comes from the census.gov, and it's called U.S. Census Bureau's Profile America. Quote, the first presidential proclamation honoring fathers was issued in 1966 when President Lyndon Johnson designated the third Sunday in June as Father's Day. And we mentioned that before. What we didn't say was the next part, which is Father's Day has been celebrated annually since 1972 when President Richard Nixon signed the public law that made it permanent. I guess I did say that because I remember Nixon saying Nixon had done something well. But that's great. But it tells you just how long that took. And it says, how many are fathers? 70.1 million is the estimated number of fathers across the nation. Wow. 24.7 million is the number of fathers who were part of a married couple family with children younger than 18 in 2011. Hey, that's a big difference. There are 70.1 million fathers, but only 24.7 million in a family or a family union, which is really kind of nerve-wracking from my perspective. That means there's a lot of families, a lot of mothers out there who don't have perhaps that father support that they need for their children. And when you look and it says 50% are looking to be in families, that means that's a whole nother 50% that, ladies, you need to watch out for, because you want to provide a stable family environment. And yes, millions of women have done the motherhood thing on their own for many generations. We can take that back to way back. Let's just leave it there. So we don't necessarily want to have it so that we have women doing the struggling, and sometimes men too, being single parents. There's a lot of single parent men out there. We're going to talk about that in a few moments too. So therefore, think about that, men. You might want to change your mind. Do you really want to bring children into this world and not take care of them? Almost 50 million children? That's a scary thought. Okay, let me see what else they're saying here. It says 21% were raising 3 or more children younger than 18. 3% live in someone else's home. 1.7 million is the number of single fathers in 2011. 15% of single parents were men. I need to repeat this because sometimes we really don't think about this, and this number really counts. And I suspect it'll be growing in future generations because of the way in which our society values have changed. That's 1.7 million is the number of single fathers in 2011. 15% of the single parents were men. 15%, okay? 10% were raising 3 or more children younger than 18. About 45% were divorced. 31% were never married. 19% were separated, and 5% were widowed. 38% had an annual family income of $50,000 or more. And this is another thing that's amazing. With women, it's half. It's less than $25,000 for women. So, we got to do a little better job of this. We really do. But kudos to that 1.7 million single fathers today who are actually doing the work alone, unfortunately. But kudos to those who are doing it together. Makes it a lot easier on everyone. Okay, it says 7,708 is the number of men's clothing stores around the country. So if you're looking for something for Dad, there's a lot of stores out there to get him something for tomorrow, and you still have time. There are 15,734 hardware stores out there. There's 21,628 number of sporting goods stores. And there's 79.1 million is the number of Americans who participated in a barbecue in 2010. It's probably safe to assume many of these barbecues took place on Father's Day. Yay, fathers! Fathers in the barbecue. Maybe we need some more recipes. Maybe we need a book that says Father's Day barbecue recipes. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, let's see about stay-at-home dads. There are 176,000 estimated stay-at-home dads in 2011. These married fathers with children younger than 15 have remained out of the labor force for at least a year, primarily so that they can take care of the family where their wives work outside the home. These fathers cared for upwards of 332,000 children. So that means that fathers and mothers are just as capable at stay at home and taking care of those children. Kudos to you, dads. 17% in 2010 is the percentage of preschoolers regularly cared for by their fathers during while their mothers are working, and child support payments. Now this tells a bit of the story between that 50% of guys who say they want families and the other side that don't. 1.9 billion is the amount of child support received by custodial fathers in 2009. They were due 3.5 billion. In contrast, custodial mothers received how much? 19.5 billion of the 31.7 billion support that was due. Like I said, we got to do a little better here, right? But thank God that, let's see, the mothers are a lot closer to paying their child support than fathers. You need to step up. Ante up, fathers. That's truly amazing. 34% is the percentage of custodial fathers who received all child support that was due in 2009. Not significantly different from the corresponding percentage of custodial parents, which is 42%. That's interesting. And this information is actually out there in the census.gov, so if you're interested in going out and taking a look, you can. 70% of custodial fathers receiving non-cash support, such as gifts or coverages of expenses, on behalf of their children. The corresponding proportion for mothers was 58%. You fathers are actually out there doing a lot for their families, and that's a great thing, especially it needs recognition so close to Father's Day. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast today. Remember to go out to Talking About You with ESTRA or ESTRA's blog tips on Facebook and click on the website links that we've brought up today. Also, make sure to like us while you're out there. Tune in next Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Talking About You with ESTRA. Come talk, come listen, where you can just be yourself. Also visit ESTRA's TV on YouTube under Users ESTRA's blog every Wednesday for videos.